For an individual, Google Maps is a mapping tool, but for a company, Google Maps is an inexhaustible source of leads. Let's say you fall into the second category. Once we have made the right diagnosis, we need to establish the right treatment. The treatment allowing you to scrape available information. And in terms of treatments, we have several options. Number one, we can do things in a controlled way using the Google Maps API. Number two, we can do things ourselves by creating a script or using a no-code tool. Number three, you can extract data in a few clicks without coding using scrap.io. I will talk more about this in a moment. In the meantime, you can find the link in the description. Let's begin with the Google Maps API. What is it exactly? How to use it? And what are its potential drawbacks? What I'm about to say won't be flawless because I will only talk about what I know. Examples I will give can be improved, but at least you will get an authentic feedback, because if I talk about things I know nothing about, you will feel that there is something wrong. The first thing we notice when we talk about the Google Maps API is that it is a broad topic. There are a lot of different kinds of APIs, a lot of different categories. Actually, there are 4 of them, these ones. And we have to think, which one do I have to use if I want to extract data? Well, I have to use the category places. But it's not over yet, because I also have access to different subcategories. And I have to think about it one more time. What subcategory I have to make use in order to extract data based on a category. In that case, category means a profession and a location, for example, a city. I have to use the nearby search subcategory. Once we have picked it up, we can start by reading the documentation. It is the best starting point. But before that, we have to create our API key. To create our API key, we have to go to console.cloud.google.com. Then we create a new project. Select a project, new project. I give a name to my project and I click on create. It will take a few seconds and I select the project. To get my API key, I have to enable a specific API. So I go to API and Services and I click on the Library tab. Let's search for our Places API, Places API new, Places API new, and I enable it. And here it is. Alright, to create our Python script, we first have to import some libraries, requests, JSON, pandas, if we want to save our results in a CSV file. If we want to save our result in an Excel file, we also have to import OpenPXL and data class to create a data class. I copy and paste my JavaScript text and I change it in order to make it Python friendly. Then let's create 2 JSON variables. For the first one, we can include a lot of different parameters, but 2 of them are really paramount. The first one is called included types. It implies what kind of job I want to extract. By default, it is restaurant, but of course I can pick up another category if I want to. Here is another documentation in which we can find the categories we can scrape. I'm not sure that there is everything, but at least there are some of them. And this is how we can replace one category by another one. The second paramount criteria is the location. The location contains the radius and a point which is symbolized by coordinates, the latitude and the longitude. To change the Google Maps coordinates, it's very easy. All we have to do is to point and click at a specific area on Google Maps, and here it is. Now let's focus on our second JSON variable. We have to insert here our API key, and here are the data fields we want to extract. To be aware of the data fields we can use, we still have to take a look at the documentation. We've got 3 parts: first part, second part, and third part. For example, if we want to retrieve the phone number, we type places.national phone number. Now it's time to make our requests. We use requests, but not request.get. We use the method request.post, and we insert both variables as parameters. And we end up with a JSON result. Now we have to work on it. This is why I also create a data class. A data class is a kind of object representing all the data I want to get. I insert my data class within a function, and I make use of this data class to change the JSON format into a data frame. We can use a data frame thanks to pandas. A data frame is a table, like an Excel sheet. All that remains to do is to save what we have got into a CSV or Excel file. A couple of things to say regarding this method. First of all, this method actually works. And what we have written is not over yet. So far, we have got 20 data rows per search, which is not much. So we have to improve our script to get more data each time. And we also have to handle errors, to handle exceptions. And God knows it is something that takes a lot of time. Secondly, we have to pay attention at how much it will cost us. Because the Google Maps API is not a free API, of course. You have access to a free trial, but if you want to get a huge amount of data, well, you have to take a look at the bill at some point. Finally, we are limited by the API. The API allows us to do some specific things, and if we have other ideas that the API doesn't allow us to do, well, we cannot implement that idea. My point is, for example, I'm not sure that there is a Google Maps API allowing us to get the email addresses. And if this API exists, it is another one. It is not the nearby search API. It means that it will require us more work. So indeed, our work is far from being over. And it raises a question, is there a better solution, or at least an easier solution? The second method is to do the scraping by ourselves. Here we are going to talk about low-code tools and no-code tools. Here is a concrete example. To scrape Google Maps using a low-code tool, we have to copy-paste the starting URL, scroll down to the bottom of the page using the listing area and not the map area. We have to create a loop to get all companies at once. We click on the URL of each company, then we extract the data, we clean the data, and we run the task. All that to say that it's not necessarily a faster method. It might be easier than the use of the Google Maps API, maybe, but we are also more likely to make errors using this method. You are going to tell me that we can also use no-code tools that will minimize this difficulty. But in any case, all these tools suffer from one major problem: scalability. Scalability is a principle of obtaining 100 or 10,000 results just as easily. And the problem is, for each Google Maps request, we can get up to 120 results, not more. You can try. Please make a very broad search. For example, we can look for bars in New York. And guess what? You will get 120 results. And it's very unlikely that there are less than 120 bars in New York. So how to get a comprehensive data set without spending hours on it? Instead, we can use Scrap.io. If, like me, you are not a developer and you do not really know how to code, or if you lack time and you simply have other things to do, with Scrap.io you can get your results anywhere on Google Maps in just a few clicks. You just need to specify your targeting city and your targeting profession, and then nothing. Scrap.io will take care of the scraping. You have nothing to worry about. All you have to do is to wait until your request is completed, and a few moments later you can download your file. Maybe it's better if I show you how to do it. To use Scrap.io, you can click the link in the description. And by creating your account, you can get your first 100 leads free of charge. Once it is done, you have access to the Search tab. It is the place in which we can get all our Google Maps requests. As you can see, I only have to specify a specific activity, and then the next 4 criteria are location criteria. Let's make a try. I can pick up one activity among 4,000 different activities. Let's say I want to target bars and I want to change the country from France to the United States. I can perfectly do that. We have access to tens of different countries. United States, here we go. So what does level 1 and level 2 division mean? Level 1 division implies a state and level 2 division means a county. But we didn't call them this way because a county and a state is not the same thing if we pick up another country, of course. We can scrape bars at the scale of an entire country, at an entire state, or at the scale of an entire county, but it depends on our subscription plan. With the first plan, we can get our request based on a city. So let's say Nashville as an example. I click on search, and if I remove my filters, we've got around 700 bars in Nashville. Indeed, we can filter our data even more if we want to. We've got two different kind of filters. So here are some of them. For example, we want to get opened companies with an email address and with a rating above 3 out of 5. I click on filter and I will get more accurate data. If everything sounds good to me, I click on export. And by clicking on advanced options, I can set up an exported lines limit. Let's say I want to get the first 30 data rows. I click on export and in a moment I will have access to the My Exports tab. It is a place in which I have access to all the exports I have done so far. I can update them if they are at least 1 month old, and I can download my CSV or Excel file. So let's take a look, shall we? Alright, what we have got. We've got the company name, the description, the main type and all types, meaning the main category and all categories, the website, the phone number, the address which is divided into different subtypes, IDs, the email address. As you can notice, our filter worked well. Social media links with Facebook links, YouTube links, Twitter links, Instagram links, and LinkedIn links. First seen on, which means when our scraper has discovered the Google Maps detailed page the first time. The price range, review count, review rating, review per score, the number of pictures, the working hours, the characteristics available in a JSON format. Then we have access to SEO data fields. So if companies have got a website, we can get website title, website meta keyword, website meta description, basically all metadata, additional email addresses if they are available, additional contact pages if they are available, additional social media links if they are available, and we end up with website technologies and website ad pixels. This is the end of the video. I hope you have enjoyed it. If it's the case, you can give a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And if you want to get your first 100 leads free of charge, you can click the link leading to scrub.io in the description. Finally, if you have any questions regarding the tool, you can ask them in the comments or directly contact our customer support. The end.